And a fight at lightweight that was originally supposed to see France's God of War, Benoit Saint Denis, taking on Christos Giagos. Scratch that record, because on August the 15th, on short notice, announced by Big Marcel Dorf over on Twitter, the fact that Gabriel Fly Miranda is going to step in on short notice, make his UFC debut, the fighter out of MMA Masters, a fighter that Brave Combat Federation sold me a bill of goods on. And I'm still waiting for him to deliver. For Gabriel Miranda, he has that lineage in his back pocket, as does Benoit Saint Denis. Now, Saint Denis had a lot more success over there. Again, Miranda, 2-1 with that organization. But it was a fun rewatch on the fights for Gabriel Miranda. Now, the first thing I'm going to show up there is the fact that for Gabriel Miranda, if you look at his last fight and you just click on the event, it was, what was it? It was Face the Danger number 23. He took on a fighter that was 5-5, and Matt's having a problem with his eye.
I don't know what's going on right now, but I cannot stop tearing up my left eye. I'm professional, though, so we can keep going.
And for the audio podcast listeners, they've really been thrown for a loop. But if you click on Gabriel Miranda's last fight against one Diego Squierra, if you click on Face the Danger 23, I'll say it one more time. It says right at the top, a prompt from Tapology. This promotion has been flagged by Tapology. Promotion pattern of record padding and mismatches. Unless further evidence emerges regarding the legitimacy of this organization's event, any new bouts to this promotion will be similarly flagged, as will the Tapology records.
You're telling me Face the Danger isn't on the up and up?
I'm just telling you that. Gabriel Miranda, I'm very excited about him. You look at his record, he's 16-5, 15 of his fights by submission. This guy is, of course, a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, and if you go back and watch his fights, he is super slippery on the mat. It doesn't matter who he's fighting. It could be Joe from the grocery store. It could be Benoit Saint Denis.
Could be.
He really does put it all out on the line. His striking, he just walks forward and throws the kitchen sink at his opponents. He does a lot of body lock trip takedowns, which work more in women's MMA than they do in men's MMA at the highest level. But you catch my drift. Gabriel Miranda is a very interesting fighter. He can get held down on the mat. He can struggle in certain positions. He is very, very slippery, though. But my God, has he taken on a paltry level of competition on the regional scene.
He certainly has, and that's why this fight against Benoit Saint Denis is going to be such an important one for him, because I agree, his grappling does look phenomenal on the regional scene, but it's really easy to out-grapple guys who are 3-1, 0-0, 5-5. Like, those are the types of people we expect you to beat if you are eventually going to become a UFC-level fighter. And for Saint Denis, he got a shit draw of the cards his first time around. Let's just call it what it is.
Short notice, up
a weight class against a dangerous striker with good takedown defense. Like, it's just not a great recipe for success if you're Benoit Saint Denis.
But was the referee Vyacheslav Kiselev there to protect the fighter?
Not at all. He was there for, like, if Squid Games had a referee, this guy would probably be the ref, because he was out for blood. Now, for Saint Denis, he showed great heart in that matchup, and I, for one, was kind of concerned about how good he was going to look his second time out due to the amount of damage that he took against Zaleski dos Santos. But his last time out at 155 looked way better in his natural weight class, and that's the big thing about Saint Denis. I don't think Miranda's just going to be able to have a ton of success on the mat against Saint Denis, even if he's able to get him there, because Benoit Saint Denis is an interesting fighter. He's almost like a volume striker, but with his grappling. He's someone who does like to scramble a lot. He's very fast on the mat. He will try to progress from guard to half guard to full mount and try to make real work done on the mat. But the thing is, against a guy like Miranda, if you are creating a lot of that separation, it might give him a chance to get his own sweep. So I think this could be a really fun grappling match. But I don't necessarily think either guy is going to win a lot of fights on the feet in their UFC careers. Like, for Miranda, he does leave massive openings when he does try to strike. So let's say you ever fought somebody like Jalen Turner fights in this weight class, for instance. I know he's like a ranked fighter, but still, Jalen Turner would hit him 3 times and put him down from like 6 feet away, just because that's the type of fighter he is. And for Saint Denis, he does blitz forward a lot. He does have really good activity on the feet, but again, he's someone who will also leave a lot of holes for really top-tier strikers to take advantage of. So I think this could be a really fun fight if we get the best version of it. And the best version of this fight is a grappling-heavy contest.
Striking-wise, Miranda walks forward, throws a lot of volume, leaves his head on the center line. In the past year, he switched it up from training in Brazil to training at MMA Masters. A lot of UFC fighters have come out of there. Obviously, Daniel Valverde is a great coach with that gym. For Benoit Saint Denis, a guy billed out of Venom Team in France, that was a big deal. He's a black belt in judo. He was French Special Forces with the SAS. Brown belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. You watch Benoit Saint Denis grapple. This guy just throws hammers of hooks, closes the distance, holds you down, and keeps you down. He's not a guy that leaves a lot of openings or space on the mat. Now we'll see how that translates against Gabriel Miranda. We look at the odds. Saint Denis open on best fight odds and average -188, -261 right now. For Gabriel Miranda, open a +150, +209 as it stands. We have a look at the Tapology votes, Matt. Surprised as they are to you. I remember getting those emails from Brave CF when Gabriel Miranda was with the promotion going, man, this guy's going to be something. And now he's in the UFC. And for Benoit Saint Denis, I got those emails and thought, this guy needs some seasoning. But damn, he's pretty good. I'm going to say over under 70% Saint Denis.
I'll say over.
I'm going to say over. It's way over.
Didn't expect it to be
938
that
total votes, 93% Saint Denis, 38% by decision, 41% by submission, 14% by knockout. For the 7% that are Miranda, 54% by submission. There's going to be some wild cards out there all week that are going to hit up the comment section and say, this guy has 16 wins, 15 of them are by submission. He's going to beat Benoit Saint Denis. I'm going to take the lead on this one. Gaetano Perello had the look like Gabriel Miranda has, and he had a lot of knockout wins, and he was a very good striker. And then they matched him up with Ricky Simone, and then they matched him up with Douglas Silva de Andrade, and he got ground to a pulp in those two fights. I don't know if the same thing can be said for Gabriel Miranda. I think he's a very skilled fighter. I think Benoit Saint Denis has those skills to beat Miranda in this specific matchup.
So do I. I think Miranda can have success in this fight, but the problem is Saint Denis excels in a lot of the same areas that Miranda excels at, and I do feel like his game's a lot more suited to higher level MMA than Miranda's is. I could be wrong. I've been wrong many times before. I will be wrong many more times in the future, but I do like Saint Denis in this matchup, and I like him a lot more at this weight class, of course. Like, if he fights at 155, he's going to be the naturally bigger guy than a lot of his opponents, and I do feel like his game is tailored towards being slightly bigger, getting on top of his opponent like we had mentioned, so I do like Saint Denis in this fight.
Saint Denis with professional experience at middleweight, welterweight, quite a bit of experience at super lightweight, that one 165, and lightweight as well. It should be an interesting fight. Both of us going with France's Benoit Saint Denis to get the win. A big time card coming up this weekend. Vettori and Whittaker in the co-main event. Gane taking on Tuivasa in the main event. You're not going to want to miss it. Keep locked in with Fight Night Picks. We always say, let's get into it.